Better, yeah.
Was he wearing a cup?
Oh, for sure. Yeah, but it doesn't matter there now. Yeah. So I'm glad he was able to walk to the dugout. But yeah, he's in a better spot right now.
You've seen great offenses over the years, and the way they scored the 4 runs in the 8th. Could you talk about that?
Yeah, a lot of good at bats. Starts with Lindor, facing a tough righty there, gets in a good hitter's count, gets a breaking ball 3-1, and he hits it out of the ballpark. And then we continue to put together some really good at bats. Pete Vientos had a nice day today, and then he ended up getting that RBI. Not trying to do too much, staying on the middle of the field, gets a pitch where he can just stay in short, and then Nim, with the pretty much blow the game out, Again, getting a good pitch to hit, not trying to do too much. And we got a lot of guys that when they're staying short and putting the barrel on baseballs, they can hit the ball out of the ballpark to all fields. And it was good to see that today from the guys.
And how was Canning?
Solid. I thought he had everything going today. Starts with the fastball, especially at the top to get swing and misses. And then we know how good the slider and the changeup in both pitches today, all 3 of them, to be honest with you. I thought he was in complete control of the game today. Used them effectively, mix, attack, got ahead, put hitters away, pretty solid out in there.
Manny?
Just back to Vientos. After yesterday's game with Baty, now Vientos kind of contributes. How do you find room for them in this lineup, given their positions?
Well, we'll find room, and I've been saying it. There's 13 guys there that it doesn't matter the 9 that you put there, you feel good about your chances, and that's my job. That's our job to continue to put these guys in good position. So it's good to see Mark being the player that we know he's capable of, even though he's not. I feel like his at-bats have been a lot better. And he's been consistent. Maybe Chase the last week, but we've seen a lot of that. We're just not getting results. But finally today, it was good to see it. And Baty, Vientos, Acuna, all of those guys will continue to get playing time. And Jeff, TT, there's some good options there.
And Ryne Stanek, I think in D.C., he ran into some bad luck. Now he's looking dominant. I think he almost touched 100 today on the gun. What are you seeing from him?
Same guy, and that was the messaging after the 2 outings in D.C. where he got ahead and just tough luck, blooper, ground balls got through, didn't make a couple of plays, and before we know it, game's over. But the messaging from everyone was there's nothing you could. It's like a hitter hitting the ball at 110 and not getting results. And finally, he's now getting the outs. Maybe at the time, getting ahead and having a hard time making them chase, maybe a little too much over the plate. Now he's executing when he's ahead of counts.
Dave on the left.
Carlos, you talk all the time about how hard it is to just win a game, each night here, but you just won a series from a team that was playing as well as anybody in baseball. That does carry some extra meaning, I would think, just to show how well you guys are playing and what you've been capable of.
Yeah, it's important to play well against teams like the Cubs. That's a good team right there. Top to bottom, the lineup, one of the best offense in the league, and they're playing some tough competition. So it's always good to see how you match up against those guys. And I thought today was a solid game all around for us. Starting pitching, bullpen, good at bats, good defensive plays, and I don't want to put too much into it this early, but again, it's good to play the way we did against a team like this.
Will on the left.
Hey, Carlos, how much does that maybe renewed competition for at-bats help a guy like Vientos, or I don't want to say motivate, but what kind of impact may that have on him?
Yeah, look, it's always good when there's a healthy competition, and whether we want to say it or not, you got a guy that is, playing really good, like Baty, but then there's Acuna, there's McNeil, there's Taylor, there's Vientos. There's a good mix. Marte today against a lefty gets a start and, put together a couple of good at-bats. So I think it shows that we're deep and we're versatile, and there's a lot of different ways I could go when I'm making out the lineup. But back to those two guys, I mean, they came up together, so they're used to this, and they pull for each other, they root for each other, like when Vientos was hot last, like you saw Baty and how much he was cheering for him. Same thing with Vientos. When, Baty has the last couple of days, you see him, he's cheering, and that's what they're great teammates. They care about each other, and that's a good thing that they got going on there.
Andrew?
Given what Luis Torrens is handling with the playing time, with Alvarez coming back, what was it like to see him continue to swing the bat pretty well and provide that first run there?
Yeah, and that's something that we feel comfortable because Louis has been in this role pretty much his whole career, And if someone knows how to stay ready, how to handle this role, when you're not playing for 2-3 days, is Louis. This is not new territory for him. He knows how to continue to get his timing, whether it's in the cages, outside on the field. And it's good to see him continue to have some contribution to the team, not only defensively, but gets us going on that triple. And then with 2 on, get the head out and that, deep fly ball to the left field. But he's a good player. And that's another good problem to have, when you got 2 guys that you feel really good about your chances when you write their name on the lineup.
We've seen this happen with Francisco a number of times over the last couple of years. Hits a big home run, stadium's going crazy, dugout freaks out, and he just looks like he's going for a walk in Central Park. I'm curious, that type of energy that he shows in those big moments, what do you think that says about him?
I mean, he's an elite player. I thought he showed a little more today, to be honest with you, compared to some of the other big homers that he's hit. But he's built up for these moments, man, and he's never too big for him, and that's what great players do, and we're watching greatness here. He's a special player, special guy, and we just have to enjoy it.